Every detail of this offseason is being questioned, and the front office staying quiet only adds to the suspense. We've got legendary vets making wild moves and roster decisions that have us at a dangerous crossroads. Are we ready for what is coming, or did we just get dragged into a game we don't know how to play? The answer isn't simple, and the fallout is bound to spark some intense debates. So make sure to smash that like button and stick around until the end, because this whole situation could change everything. The Raiders' defense has been the absolute focus this offseason, and the amount of resources poured into it is undeniable. The front office sounds desperate to fix what was a total nightmare last year. We've got a group of young talents from the draft like Traden Stukes, Jermod McCoy, and Hezekiah Masses. It is a gamble, for sure. But what if this gamble backfires? Is the lack of experience in the secondary a calculated risk, or just negligence that is going to cost us tight games in December? And here is the controversy nobody wants to touch. Eric Stokes and Taron Johnson are the only names with real mileage. The question is, will that be enough for such a brutal conference? According to reports, guys like Trevon Diggs are still out there on the free agent market. Christopher Knox over at Bleacher Report is pointing to the Raiders as the ideal landing spot. But then you look at Diggs' numbers since that ACL tear in 2023, and the red flags go up immediately. He was an All-Pro once, but consistency has always been an issue. He gave up a sky-high completion percentage even in his best seasons. So, would bringing in Diggs actually solve our lack of interceptions after all? The team only had 8 last year, which is embarrassing, or would it just be bringing in a chronic coverage problem that leaves us exposed on key third downs? If this actually goes down, the price would have to be incredibly low for it to make any strategic sense. There is speculation that the coaching staff is banking on internal development from guys like Darian Porter. But let's be real, relying on rookies and second-year guys in such a critical unit is just asking for trouble. The verdict from ESPN, via Ryan McFadden, doubles down on that exact debate. The cornerback room is stagnant. There has been no clear improvement compared to last season, just swapping out names. Is that a good move or a mistake that could cost us dearly? The fans are split. Some want the flash of a guy like Diggs, even with the risk, while others prefer the discipline of a young group learning the system. But hold that thought, because our weakness against the pass isn't just about individual talent, it is about tactical discipline. And if the unit doesn't show progress in the first few weeks, the heat on the coaching staff is going to explode. Nothing is confirmed yet, but internal meetings about veteran reinforcements must be happening right this second. Is the front office waiting to see how these rookies handle training camp, or are they waiting for the veteran market to get cheaper? Raiders fans' patience has its limits, and this hesitation to lock up the roster with someone proven might be the Achilles heel of a season that was supposed to be a solid rebuild. At the end of the day, the question remains, are we building an unbreakable wall, or just stacking unstable pieces in our secondary? Tom Brady's influence on the Raiders is blowing past any limit we imagined at the start. It is not just about being a minority owner or someone giving advice from a luxury box anymore. The man is at the center of every major narrative for this franchise. The latest, buying a trading card of our rookie quarterback Fernando Mendoza. It seems harmless, maybe even just a gesture of support, but if we look closer, could there be something deeper going on here? Brady bought the one-of-one Mendoza card for an amount that reports say was astronomical. He came out publicly saying he knows how hard the kid works and that he trusts the environment we have built. But hold on, why is the greatest winner in league history investing so much time, money, and personal image into a rookie before he has even taken an official snap in the regular season? There is talk that this connection goes way beyond professional mentorship. Is Brady the real mastermind behind Mendoza's development, acting almost like an informal QB coach? While Kirk Cousins is on the roster to be the bridge, Brady is positioning himself as the shadow hanging over the rookie's career. Is this a brilliant marketing ploy to boost the morale of the fan base, which, let's be honest, we really need, or is it unnecessary pressure on the shoulders of a kid who barely finished college? Nothing is confirmed yet, but if this really happens, if Mendoza becomes Brady's personal project, the expectations on the kid are going to be unbearable. If he fails, the weight is doubled. If he succeeds, everyone is going to point to Brady's hand in it. But hold on, because what comes next changes everything. The transition this team is making between a veteran like Cousins and the future with Mendoza is one of the most delicate in recent team history. And this relationship with Brady is that extra spice in the pressure cooker. Some say it is the perfect environment for success. Others, more skeptical, question if this closeness doesn't create a dynamic where the kid feels more like a superstar's protege than the leader of a 53-man roster. Mendoza has talent, we saw that at minicamp, but the jump to the pro level is where most dreams go to die. The connection with Brady could be the lifebuoy or the anchor that holds his development back. And that is not even the most worrying part. It is the management of fan perception that is at stake here. We want to believe Mendoza is the future, and seeing a legend like Brady validate that with a real financial investment brings a sense of security. It is a masterstroke to buy the fans' patience. If the team starts off losing, are fans going to remember Brady's investment and stay optimistic, or will we see heavy criticism about this excessive closeness? It is a risky move, and like everything involving the name Brady, there is no middle ground. Either we are seeing the birth of a dynasty, or we are looking at a media circus that won't help much between the lines when the clock is ticking and the scoreboard is against us. NFL rivalries are sacred, but what happened on Max Crosby's podcast recently challenges everything we know about loyalty. Von Miller, the same guy we learned to hate for years wearing that Denver Broncos orange, popped up on our Stars show and jokingly suggested he would love to play for the Raiders. That is right. The guy who gave us nightmares for over a decade, talking about wearing the silver and black. Now, pause and think. Is it a troll? A sign that his career is wrapping up and he wants one last paycheck in a place he respects? Or is there some real technical depth here? Miller is 37, but the experience he brings to a room of edge rushers is priceless. According to reports, our current roster of pass rushers, even with the addition of Kwity Paye and the return of Malcolm Kuntz, is still a question mark. Did we actually improve as much as the sports media wants us to believe? Nothing is confirmed yet regarding any negotiations, and Miller was quick to say his loyalty is with Denver. But if this actually goes down, if he decides he wants one last challenge before hanging up the cleats, would the Raiders be the destination? The idea of having Miller next to Max Crosby, even in a reduced role, makes any defensive coordinator's head spin. He knows the secrets of the position like very few others. Could Crosby learn something new from him, or would it be a clash of egos inside the locker room? There is speculation that Miller only signs with legitimate Super Bowl contenders, and this is where the debate gets heated. Are we a playoff team? ESPN, through Ryan McFadden, talks about a defensive unit that has improved, but improved is a relative term. Improved compared to what? Compared to the bottom of the league or the championship standard. Inconsistency in pass rush is what knocked us out of big games last year. If we don't fix that, Crosby's talent won't matter. But hold on, because what comes next changes everything. The cost-benefit of a veteran like Miller, even if he only gives you 5 or 6 sacks, could be the difference between winning or losing against elite QBs in our conference. The question of Crosby's longevity also comes into play. If we bring in someone like Miller, we can manage Max's snaps better, making sure he is in one piece for the end of the season. But is that enough to justify signing a historic rival? The fans are divided. Part of the Raiders nation would never accept seeing an enemy with our shield. Others, more pragmatic, would say if he can help us win, the past should stay in the past. And if we see Von Miller sacking the opposing QB and hitting the classic Raiders celebration, the damage to the player's image would be permanent, but the win, that is what would matter. Questioning the effectiveness of this addition is necessary. Does he still have what it takes, or are we just looking at a big name with no real production left? The reality is, without a consistent pass rush, the Las Vegas defense is going to remain a sitting duck. If Miller is the vet who brings the discipline we lack, then maybe we need to swallow our pride and take the help, no matter how much it hurts. We have reached the end, and the pieces on our board are moving way too fast. Between the urgent need for experience in the secondary, the Tom Brady aura surrounding Mendoza's development, and the bizarre idea of having a historic rival on the roster, one thing is certain: the Raiders are not standing still. We are living through a risky and, honestly, electrifying transformation. Now I want to hear from you. Does this aggressive strategy take us to the playoffs, or is it just a mistake that could cost us too much? Drop a comment below. I want to see this debate catch fire. Smash the like and subscribe. Until next time.